ultimately, if it was up to me, I would be sitting here right next to talking to Senator Harold Ford, and we had 10 Senate races, and one was run on this sort of DLC platform of blurring distinctions and not really proudly standing for Democrats. And I hope that the DLC moves towards being proud of being Democrats. It doesn't have anything to do with being conservative or liberal, being proud to be Democrats.
But does it trouble you, Congressman, that none of the Democrats running for president came to your convention this year?
Naturally, we wanted them all there, but primaries on both sides. Mitt Romney and Fred Thompson look like raging conservatives. They didn't look that way when Mitt Romney was governor.
In other words, you think they're going to come back to the center
next year? But let me just, the DLC, balancing budgets, creating surpluses, reducing welfare, reducing crime, introducing the earned income tax credit, raising the bottom 20% income, 24% of.
But Markos, for everything that Bill Clinton did.
But you're blaming me for John Bro. It's not fair.
Bill Clinton was credit for everything Bill Clinton did.
But he was chairman of the DLC,
and
Markos.
Ultimately, think about this. You talk about
but you can't have it both ways, sir. I got great respect, but you can't have it both ways.
You're talking about bringing the, appealing to the vast majority of the American public. Bill Clinton never won with 50% plus one of the vote.
But he was president twice. I'll take his record any day of the week.
The most talented politician of our era, an incredible political talent, wasn't able to win 50% of the American vote. Now, last year in 2006, running a strong, unapologetic, muscular Democrats brought in 56% of the vote. We are appealing to the mainstream. We brought in independents in droves, and it wasn't just George Bush. George Bush gave us an opening.
I would
but
agree.
if it was George Bush, if it was only George Bush, you would be senator today.
But let me say this. John Tester, Claire McCaskill, Jim Webb ran.
We beat in a primary. We beat a DLC-backed primary candidate.
He ran to the right of the DLC and Daily Kos on several issues. He ran to the left on other issues.
On what issues?
On guns, on gay marriage.
I'm a pro-gun Democrat.
On guns, on gay marriage. There are a number of issues on cultural issues. Jim Webb the same way. My only point is this. There's no need for us to argue. Those guys won, and we should be proud.
Because they were proud Democrats.
And I'm one, too. There's no need to question my leaders. I want to do nothing more than ensure that progressive causes and interests are advanced. I want nothing more, and I know you do as well, want Democrats to win. We do nothing but help Mitt Romney, Fred Thompson, John McCain, and Rudy Giuliani when we argue essentially over semantics.
You stop going on Fox News and attacking Harry Reid for abandoning the troops, betraying the troops? Because you just did that a couple of days ago.
But Markos, in all fairness, your site has posted awful things about Jewish Americans. Your site is awful. Now you have a site up about something about Cindy Sheehan. She uses it as she has a heavy presence there and talking about her run against
democracy. If you don't like regular people, hundreds of thousands of people
I love it, but you can't be critical of us.
You're going to have, because I don't control hundreds of thousands of voices. You're an organization of a few dozen people. You can control that message, and you don't need to attack Democrats.
Let me insert here and conclude by asking you about Hillary Clinton, because it's quite striking what you have written about her in the past, going back to last year. This is what you wrote in the Washington Post about her. Hillary Clinton is part of a failed Democratic Party establishment, referring in part to her husband's leadership as well. She epitomizes the insider label of the early crowd of 2008 Democratic contenders. Senator Clinton shows no proclivity for real leadership as a lawmaker. Afraid to offend, she has limited her policy proposals to minor symbolic issues. She doesn't have a single memorable policy or legislative accomplishment to her name. Meanwhile, she remains behind the curve or downright incoherent on pressing issues such as the war in Iraq. The last thing we need is yet another Democrat afraid to stand on principle. Her advisors have stripped what personality she has, hiding it from the public. What remains is a heartless, passionless machine. Today, we regard Hillary Clinton's candidacy as anything but inevitable. Her obstacles are big, and from this vantage point, possibly insurmountable. She appeared before the yearly Coast Convention this year, just last week, and she had this to say. Let's watch.
I'm aware that, not everybody says nice things about me, but yeah, I know it's a burden I have to bear. But let me start by saying something perhaps a little unexpected, and that is thank you. Thank you for caring so much and being so involved in helping us create a modern progressive movement in America.
You did a straw poll on the Daily Kos website that had her losing to Edwards and Obama. She is, according to national polls, a going-away frontrunner at this point, just in the national polls. Have you changed your opinion of her?
Well, I think clearly, let me start off by saying, she's one of the warmest politicians I've ever met. I've said this, I've written about this in person. And for some reason, when you see her in these debates, she comes across as colder, and I've never been able to understand why that is. I am afraid that our advisors are really hiding the human being behind that suit, because she's an incredible human being, very accomplished. They're making strides, yes, absolutely. I think they're realizing that this isn't a movement. We're talking hundreds of thousands and millions of people. This isn't something you just toss aside or dismiss. And she's making great strides in giving this community proper respect. Again, it's not about me. You know, I could care less whether I like her or not. She doesn't care if I like her or not. But what I've done is create a forum where she can go talk directly to these people. And she was at 9% in the last poll. 9% of 1 million people on Daily Kos is still about 90,000 committed, hardcore activists working on her behalf. I think any candidate would kill for that kind of support.
Congressman, final point here. Is your primary message that compromise is going to be inevitable if Democrats want to win the White House?
Merging of factions and recognizing that our agendas are far more in common than there may be in variance. The reality is our real challenge is developing a coherent, cogent platform that a majority of Americans can rally around that will not only give us a political victory, but will give us a chance to do something that George Bush, up to a year ago almost, Republicans weren't able to do in the House and Senate, which is to govern and govern effectively. If we cross the 3 hurdles of national security, values, and an ability to manage people's money through taxes and fiscal discipline properly and in a smart way, we will not only advance a progressive cause, but we will give an opportunity to bring to life and to bring to fruition so many of the things that Markos and I care deeply about. And I dare say the millions of people on his website that follow Daily Kos, and millions of people that subscribe to him and what he does, and I dare say the millions that subscribe to the DLC, and more importantly, the country. That's what this is about, and that's what we're about.
Quickly, final thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully merging factions. Everybody else in the party coalition has come together. You're the lone holdout. I hope that's not the case next year.
We'll be there, and I hope you are as well. Thank you.
All right.
Good meeting you.
Harold Ford, Markos Moulitsas, a good handshake. Thank you very much. The debate will continue.